Der er jo et ledigt trænersæde i Frankfurt klar, og der er altså et par medier, der nu melder, at han godt kunne få det job.
Præcis, og det skal jo ses i lyset af den Bold.dk og Ekstrabladet artikel, som de skrev den 12. december, at de arbejdede på at få ham ud, ikke fyre ham, men sælge ham. Og det er jo derfor, vi er så hyper opmærksomme på den historie, der er kommet ud i tyske medier i dag, fra lokale mediet Frankfurter Rundschau, som skriver, at Dino Topmøller, som blev fyret for 8 dage siden i Frankfurt, han skal jo, der skal findes en erstatning for ham, og deriblandt er Jakob Neestrup en af topfavoritterne til det job. Så det er virkelig spændende, om FC København stadigvæk arbejder med den plan at afskibe Jakob Neestrup. Ja,
for lidt siden, der snakkede jeg med en tysk journalist, som altså står bag den her artikel, som vi lige så. Det er Christopher Michel, der kunne gøre os lidt klogere på rygterne omkring Jakob Neestrup.
My information is that Jakob Neestrup is one of the candidates Markus Krösche has on his list. If he's the top candidate, I don't know. But he is, one of the names we heard about Markus Krösche is talking with. And yes, it would be a typical move for Markus Krösche because he likes the Scandinavian market. He already bought 4 players since he works for Frankfurt. For example, Jesper Lindström, Oskar Højlund from FC Copenhagen. Or he bought Hugo Larsson from Sweden, or now Keita Kuzugi also from Sweden. So Markus Krösche knows the Scandinavian market, and Neestrup is one of the names we heard Krösche is talking with.
But Christopher, we also know that FC Copenhagen haven't been convincing in this fall in the Danish Superliga. So why would Eintracht Frankfurt pick him up now?
I didn't know a lot about Neestrup till today. He was candidate in Leipzig in summer. He does a great job in the Champions League. I think Copenhagen still has chances to get to the next round. Of course, it's a huge challenge they have in Barcelona, but they still have chances. And the team from him scored over 300 goals in 172 games. And so Frankfurt is looking for an offensive thinking coach who also can stabilize the defense. Frankfurt has huge problems in the defense. And it would be not surprising if Markus Krösche gets a fresh name to the Bundesliga. He's only known from insiders in the Bundesliga, and I would be excited if Neestrup would come to the Bundesliga and coach Frankfurt. It would be a really exciting fit, and I would love to see him coaching in the Bundesliga.
But Christopher, you also said that you don't know if Jakob Neestrup is the top candidate to this job. Who else is in the race?
Yes, the name Knudsen from Bodo Glimt is in the race. In Germany, Marco Rose, he is jobless at the moment. He was, the last station he had was RB Leipzig. Some sources also called the coach from St. Pauli, Blessin, as a possible option for Markus Krösche. But I think he will get a coach who is not yet well known in Germany, and that's why the name Neestrup is pretty interesting, in my opinion.
But is it even possible to Jakob Neestrup to compare to some of those names you mentioned here?
Could you repeat the question? I didn't understand.
Is it even possible to compare Jakob Neestrup to those names you say here?
I know Neestrup too less to compare him now to Rose. What Rose has, what Neestrup of course doesn't have, is experience in the Bundesliga. Rose trained in Leipzig, Dortmund, Gladbach. So, of course, he has experience in the Bundesliga. Neestrup still is a young coach. He is, much under 40 years young. He only trained in Denmark at Copenhagen. And so, of course, it would be a risk coach. But, Krösche also had a risk coach with Dino Topmöller. He was, before he became Frankfurt coach, he was only the second coach from Julian Nagelsmann. So Krösche is a risk manager. And it would be a very, very interesting name with Neestrup.
And after the sacking of Dino Topmøller, what is it that Eintracht Frankfurt is looking for in a new head coach?
Yes, of course. The new head coach has to stabilize the defense. This defense is a huge problem. Frankfurt now got 3 goals every game, 2026. That is too much. But what the new coach gets, he really gets a nice offense. Kali Muendo came new. Can Uzun is one of the biggest talents in Europe. Nathaniel Brown is a great left winger. Ansgar Knauf on the right wing. Ritz Doan, Mario Götze. They are great names in Frankfurt offense. And so the new coach still has a great offense, but he has to stabilize the defense, because if he doesn't stop the amount of goals Frankfurt concedes, they will not reach the European business.
Christopher, is it possible to think that Frankfurt will continue with Dennis Schmidt and Alexander Meyer until summer, and then after this season will hire Jakob Neestrup?
No, that is not possible. Dennis Schmidt and Alex Meyer, they will now get the game against Tottenham and maybe against Leverkusen. But Markus Grösche, the Kicker reports, one of the biggest magazines in Germany, that Grösche already, he is very close to sign a new coach, but nobody knows the name. And as long as we don't know the name, Neestrup will be one of the candidates the media here will talk about.
And how possible do you think it is that Jakob Neestrup will be the new head coach of Frankfurt this season?
Very difficult to say. Markus Grösche doesn't say anything to any candidate. He only laughs and smiles and says he already knows who will be the next Eintracht coach. So I don't want to give percentage, but I wouldn't be surprised if Neestrup will be the next Eintracht coach, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't become the next Eintracht coach. It's really difficult to know, because Markus Grösche is like a poker player, and he doesn't let you look in his cards.